Hey everyone, just a quick personal update video. In this video I want to lay out and explain why I'm taking a break from all psychedelic substances for 1 year, how that's gonna go, how that process came to be and how that's gonna unfold, how it feels right now, and why you could possibly consider doing the same. So, this is exciting. Excuse me, I don't have that much energy, and that is actually the reason why I got the idea to embark on this break of all substances. And it's actually quite interesting to consider, what is a break from all psychoactive substances? What is a break from substances at all? What does it mean to be sober? I love this question. But I've noticed my health has been declining over the last 2 years. I've got this mystery illness and I am prioritizing health at the moment. So over everything else, moving forward, I want to focus on health. And I talked to some colleagues, to some friends, and got the idea to basically take a break from all adrenaline-inducing activities, including psychedelics. So because the state of my body is not well, and the body set is not that well, every time I feel kind of better, I go into extreme psychedelic journeys. I go into extreme consciousness expanding experiences, vision quests, fasting, breath work, all of that stuff. And I've noticed, obviously, it is taking a toll on my body. So that was my initial inspiration to get the idea of like, hey, maybe I want to take a break as a troubleshooting experiment for my health situation. Maybe I want to take a break from psychedelics for a year. And you know what was interesting? What was interesting was at that very moment when that idea entered my mind, everything in me resisted and came up with excuses on why I should not be doing that. Oh, Virgo, you've got this psychedelic channel, you're a psychedelic integration coach. How could you possibly take a break from psychedelics? Do you want to go into facilitation? And I'm actually quite excited to explore deeper and deeper realms of the psychedelic journey. So how could you take a break for a year? That's gonna slow me down. And my whole identity basically since I've been 16 was based on psychedelic use, because that's been the thing that's kind of like has shifted my character and built my identity, and which I've built the foundation on. And consciousness exploration in and of itself is one of the greatest, if not the greatest, passion of my life. So how could I possibly take a break? Right? And the mind was coming up with even more excuses and more reasons why I shouldn't be taking a break. And then I was noticing, wow, boom, that's exactly why I need to do it. Right? There's a concept that you always gotta go where the fear is. At least it's good direction to see what feels uncomfortable. What are you resisting in a common sense manner, and go there. And for me, that has been and is at the moment to take a break from psychedelics. This is the one thing that I do not want to do. And so this is the thing that exactly I want to do right now. And it's quite interesting. So then I was basically setting up the frame of like, okay, I'm going to take a break from all substances for a year because of these two reasons. One, my health, and second one, because that's exactly not what I want to do. And that's pointing to the next stage of my growth and my psychedelic integration journey as well. Right? So what does it mean to take a break from all substances, right? I've been working on this presentation. It's going to come out in the next couple of weeks or a month. It's called What Are Psychedelics, right? And it's quite interesting to consider, what are psychedelics? What is a substance? And what do I want to take a break from? And I guess the personal container is very individualized for every one of us. But for me, right, it was not just about the psychoactive substances. And even there, what does it mean? Is tobacco a psychoactive substance? What about rapé? What about, I don't know, right? Certain different plants, supplements. All of these things are impacting our neurochemistry. Everything is a drug, basically. Everything we're consuming, even an overdose of oxygen in the breathwork session, is a neurochemical change in my brain, which could be seen as a drug or as a psychedelic activity or substance. So it was quite confusing for me to even decide on what does it include now to take a break from. And you could make it easy, you know, in your just case, okay, the classic psychedelics, I'll allow myself to smoke or whatever. But especially for me now, I like to go into extremes. So I am going into kind of an extreme here right now as well. And I'm really excited about this and really scared about this as well. To say I'm not just taking a break from all psychedelics, but because of my health and the adrenaline-inducing activities, I'm also taking a break from breathwork. I'm taking a break from consciousness-expanding activities like Temazcal, sweat lodge, sauna, ice bath, you know, all these heavy activities which are taking a toll on the body and which are facilitating consciousness exploration and expansion. I'm taking a break from even that, because what I'm really afraid of is the mundane, is being ordinary, is slowing down in my life right now, because I've been going quite fast, you know, building up this business and this coaching, and I'll still do psychedelic integration coaching. I'll be limiting my spots to a smaller number of people. So if you're curious, you can book a call right now and see if you can get in and get a spot if you're curious about psychedelic integration coaching. But yeah, basically doing less and being mundane and seeing what life is like without any chemical input, without even the input of consciousness expanding peak experiences like breathwork or Temazcal or whatever. And then it got really muddy and interesting to contemplate that. It's like, what about swirling around, all these other consciousness expanding techniques? Or what about ecstatic dance? What about dancing myself into trance? What about hiking up a mountain? What about being in nature? You know, all of these are activities, right? So I'll still be doing those, you know, I'll still be dancing, I'll still be in nature, and I'll still maybe even swirl around or do meditation, right? Meditation is a consciousness expanding technology to a certain degree, or go into meditation retreats or hike up a mountain. I'll still do those to a certain extent, but it's interesting to contemplate that, you know, because there is no clear boundary, there is no clear line on what is psychedelic and what is not psychedelic. Because our life is a psychedelic odyssey, you know, this life is a psychedelic journey, and all our life is a psychedelic trip and the psychedelic integration. But that is what it entails for me. So I'll be allowing myself to do matcha and cacao at least for half a year of this year. Maybe the second half I'm even cutting those off because of the caffeine. But I'm not gonna be doing any coffee. I'm not gonna be doing any rape, cannabis, mapacho, tobacco, you know, nothing at all. And no psychedelics, obviously. So this is the framework that I've decided upon for myself. And it's interesting, you know, and this is what I want to lead into now as like an inspiration almost. Because it's scary to be sober. I've been shifting my state of consciousness through substances, especially, and through intaking something for the past 9 years. It's quite interesting to enter a phase where the distraction of an intake of a substance to change consciousness is being cut away. And I want to give that as an inspiration to you, especially if you're on this psychedelic path, if you've been a psychonaut, you know, if you've been exploring psychedelic journeys, and especially also if you have the tendency to go into these peak experiences over and over and over again. Nothing against that. That's a wonderful lifestyle, and I still hold the perspective that that is the way to go. You know, this is what I want to do eventually after the year or when my health is good as well. But especially also for your own psychedelic integration journey, it's interesting to see and ask yourself, what are you attached to? What are you looking for in chasing peak experiences? Is there a tendency or almost a dependency on the peak experience, on the psychedelic substance, even on the breathwork session or on all these technologies and things that we do to shift our state? What are you doing? Like, what are you afraid of? What are you distracting from? Because can you find the beauty, maybe even as just a personal challenge for half a year, for a year, to see the beauty in the mundane, in the ordinary, in the state of consciousness that you find yourself in without expanding it, shifting it through a hyper technology, either endotechnology or extra technology, you know, all these things. What are you looking for? So this journey of sobriety, I've never thought it would come so early for me. I've never thought it was going to come right now, but it hit me, and now I'm embarking on this journey. That doesn't mean I'll not be doing more psychedelic content. I'll be reducing the amount of videos and content and work that I'll be doing throughout this channel, as I'll be focusing more on my own spiritual practice, the integration, the meditation, and my health journey. But nevertheless, there's still lots to share. There's still lots of exciting things coming. Yeah, and I just wanted to share this personal update because it's been quite challenging, you know, the health situation. It has to take a priority, and yeah, maybe more videos about the being sober experiment are gonna be coming as well, as I've been peeking into and looking into and inquiring into the value of the psychedelic experience as well, right? And the gradual approach of making your spiritual practice, your life, your integration, the foundation upon which you can journey into these expanded realms. Not to get attached to the bliss, but to dance in detached appreciation through this life and actualize your psychedelic experiences, the peaks you've already had in your day-to-day life. And maybe to take a break is going to allow you, and all these insights is going to allow you to settle them and to ground them and to integrate them and actualize them in your own life and in your own body. Right? And this is what this work is about. It's about psychedelic integration. It's about psychedelic actualization. And this is what I love to help people with, right? Through the psychedelic actualization framework and psychedelic integration coaching. If you're curious about that, about more resources and about the coaching, check out the links in the description. Enough from me right now. That was the little personal update. I'm excited for this year. I'm scared for this year, but I'm also curious what this journey is gonna bring and what the learnings of this year of sobriety are gonna be. Much love, and see you in the next one.